have them. 2 wings, ribs all fitted. A lot of riveting today. I think I've got RSI from all the riveting, drilling, riveting and stuff. So, but it's all done, all put together. Both wings. This last one is not fitted in here because that goes in the centre of the 2 wings when they join. So that one's loose, but all the rest are riveted in place. All looks pretty good to me. And the same with this one, all riveted and in place. So yeah, good day's work today. I've got the little bits of tape on each there just to remind me to put something in to stop those rubbing. I've got a few bits. I need some leather. I'll see if I can find some leather from somewhere. I've got an old pair of gloves or something I can cut up, or something thicker, but we'll find something. Plastic would do, but leather would be more in keeping. Yeah, I'm knackered now. It's been a long, hard day today, but I'm pleased with the results. Yeah, looks good. They look good. Next thing I've got to do is cut these shorter ribs to size. They need cutting off, and that's where the aileron's going to go. So I need to build ailerons next. So I'll build the ailerons, I think, see how they go together. And these are full-scale ribs. These will have a trailing edge that goes all along there, and then the ailerons actually come out quite a long way. They taper off out that way to give a lot more wing width and make them more effective, because they've only got ailerons on the top wing, so not on both wings. So they were made bigger to be more effective on a fighter aeroplane of its time. So that's the next big job, but I'll have a read of the plans and we'll call it a day again. But yeah, I feel like I've done quite a lot today and I'm knackered. It's been a lot of hard work, to be honest, but yeah, it's not so bad. Not so bad when you get a result, is it? So I'm pleased with that. All looking good, and yeah, happy bunny. So I've not got very far today, really, I don't think. It's been a bit of a strange day. I started off doing the ailerons, or the aileron on one wing, which I've started, and I decided I must be coming a bit hard of thinking or something, because I really don't understand how I'm going to do it. I've been looking at curving a piece of this sheet metal that I'm just bending now along over the edge, the curved edge of the aileron, the leading edge of the aileron basically. As of this moment, I've no solid idea how I'm going to do that. It's just not what I thought it would be. So I changed tack and moved on to the leading edge of the wing, which I should probably have done first anyway before I built the aileron. So once again, first one you do is always the learning exercise. So this one, I'm just putting a little kink in the leading edge of the sheeting, or top and bottom edges of the sheeting, as it suggests you do so, just to keep it straight when it's when you're trying to curve it over the leading edge of the wing. So it's just a little 20-degree kinking. I tried doing it in a press, a homemade press. Use what you got around, which is what Scott Matthews says on his build video. I got a nice message from Scott the other day, actually, on the YouTube. He's a guy who really knows what he's doing, building us up with camel over in Australia, doing a fantastic job, puts me to shame. So if you like watching this sort of stuff, check out Scott Matthews in Australia. He's very near the end of his build, got the engine and everything. He's looking to test fly it soon, I believe. So it was nice of him to get in touch, and really appreciate the message. Thank you, and so good luck with the first flight, Scott. So put a bit of a kink in this edge, gonna fix it to the leading edge of the wing, do the same with the other two sheets. I'll show you the score then. So just marking out the last sheet for the little bend in the top and bottom edges, and then we'll call it a day, I think. And I don't know when I'll get back. I've got another week, and then I'm away on holiday, so there's going to be a bit of a hiatus on the build for a couple of weeks, but probably do me good to get away, come back to it fresh with a bit of luck. I might be able to sort out that leading edge of the aileron, have some inspiration. So we shall see whether that occurs. So I did try making a bit of a bending brake for the for doing this, but that was a failure. I couldn't keep it tight enough. It needed heavier metal than I've got. Just using up what I had around, but it didn't really work. So I say it's not a. This is really just to stiffen the sheet as you bend it over the wing. So I'll show you this a little bit, and we'll say call it a day. This works reasonably well, this thing. I got this, I think, when I was building the Sonics. I don't think I ever used it. So one of those tools you get, oh, that might be a good idea. Didn't really use it. Coming in handy now. Never throw anything away, I guess. guessing when the skin goes on the wings, it'll smooth out this little kink. I'll spin this around and show you what's going on. So that's what's going to happen. Just doing the last piece. That's the leading edge of the wing, and those, of course, have got to be bent back using the old straps, I guess. Is what I'll do, and then rivet along the top of the ribs and flip it all over. Do the same on the bottom. I'll show you what I've done with the ailerons. So I've finished off the piece that blocks out the ailerons here. That's you can see that's a piece of sheet that goes top and bottom. And the bit I'm struggling with goes over these ribs. It comes round the back of it and onto the top and onto the bottom, just the same as the front leading edge of the wing does. But I've got a hinge here, and I really don't know what to do about that. I tried cutting halfway through it, but there's not enough movement on the aileron if you do that, so I guess it's going to have to be a piece from the end there, and then a separate piece all the way along to there, to the end of the aileron. But if I do that, there's nothing to hold it in place at the hinge, so I am really struggling with brain power, I think, is the problem. Serious lack of brain power at the minute, so I'll have a think about it. Come to me at 3 o'clock in the morning, these things usually do a solution, so we'll see. I'll leave it at that, but get this last piece on the cleat on the front and call it a day, I guess. Okay, so starboard wing is pretty much sorted. I've got to sort this tip out. We've got the leading edge on, we've got the aileron on, and we've got the aileron forward skin on. God, that was a pain in the ass to do. Should maybe have done it when it was off the aeroplane, but I'd already put it on. So I'm unsure of what I did wrong with that. It wasn't very easy, but I've got it sorted. It does appear to be binding a little bit at one of the ribs there further down. You can see that I've made a note of it. One of those ribs is just binding on the top of it, so I just need to have a look at that at some point, see what I can do with stopping that. It's only just slight binding, but obviously it's ailerons. They need to be smooth and easy to use. So and we're on the port wing. See, the forward leading edge is all cleat in place all the way along there. I've put the forward wing tip is on there. And yeah, it's coming on a bit at a time. I've got a little bit more to finish on the on this tip here. On this, sorry, this is the point at which the two wings join. So I've got to cut some off the leading edge to get it to fit. I've got to make another rib as well. This rib is an extra rib that goes in the centre, and there will be a bow go from the trailing edge of the wing here, which again is on. Trailing edge is all on. Looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with the transition from the straight to the angled aileron. That's quite pleasant. I quite like that. But there has to be this bell crank I've not put in yet because I've got to cut that to length. This has got to be cut to length, but I'll leave that until maybe till the wing's in place even, because then I'll know I'll be able to get the vertical. That's going to have a vertical attachment which goes onto there, and then there's a push rod that goes onto the belt to the crank, which will in turn move the aileron. So it's quite a straightforward system, but I'm not going to cut anything until I know it all fits, and that means putting the wings back on again, which will be a more than one man job, shall we say. But yeah, that's looking all right. Quite pleased with that. I just a little bit of binding on that aileron I need to have a look at, but I think it's just a case of blocking up one of the ribs. And again, same on the other one, all coming along. There's going to be a bit of a hiatus now because I'm away for a few days, so when I get back I shall continue with the progress. But yeah, top wings are definitely coming on. Before they're covered, I need to go over them all, make sure there's no sharp edges and stuff, but I've tried to do that as I've been going along as well. You can see the wing looks pretty good to me there. It all looks pretty smooth and level. So yeah, happy with that. Call it a day, and I shall be back in touch when I get back. Morning folks, back to work again after a couple of weeks off. Had a bit of a break, some sunshine down in the south of France, had a nice time, and come back to it and ready to get back on with the build of the Nieuport 11. So I filmed a bit of video before I went, and I'll sort of string that together with today's efforts. Still working on the ailerons and wings, seem to be coming along all right. Just got to remember where I left off last time, and we'll get on with it. I'll keep you informed, show you a video at the end of today's work. Got a full day here today because my partner's at work all day, so hopefully get something done, and you'll see the results at the end of this video. Cheers. So there we are, starboard wing pretty much finished up. You can see I've made a couple of notes on here. I need to check what to do with this tip to smarten it up. I don't know whether just to cut it off where the waist marks are there, cut it off straight, and then use the fabric to close it down. I think that's probably going to be the best bet. I might roll it off and roll it round the wingtip a bit, so leave it proud, roll it round the wingtip and sort it there. But I've got that to do on this wing and on the other wing. The ailerons are on, in place. If I stand here, you can maybe see the shape of them there, how they come out at the end. They've gone all right, not such a bad job. I don't like bending the metal, and I think I could have changed the system I used the system it says in the instructions, but I've seen a better system since. But it's done. It is what it is. It's nice and strong, all solid. The aileron is currently tie wrapped. The reason it's tie wrapped is because there's a 1/2 inch gap between the end of the wing and the start of the aileron, and that tube you can see there is my 1/2 inch marker, and it's just tie wrapped together to keep that distance. There's some gaps had to be cut in it there, and obviously for the hinges here, they're all done. I've not done this yet. This is the bell crank at the end here. This bell crank plugs into this tube here, and then it has 2 push rods that go from the stick to move the ailerons. I haven't cut that to size or put it in yet because I think I'll get it measured up on the airframe so I can keep everything vertical, so I know it's going to be exactly above the control where it should be. So I know there are distances measured on the plans here. That's the bell crank just there, and there are distances given, but I think I'm going to wait and see. It's going to be probably a harder way of doing it, but at least that way I will get it vertical and keep everything straight and true. So that's gone all right. The ailerons move freely. They won't do it obviously now because they're tie wrapped. They move freely. I've popped a bit of protection between the wires to stop them chafing, because obviously they're going to get covered when the fabric skin goes over it. I'm hoping that you can see there's some bowing in the middle of the ailerons here, but I'm pretty sure that once I get the skin on, that will all tighten down. I don't know whether you can see down there, but there's a suitable gap all the way along. Maybe I'm moving a bit fast there, but there is a gap all the way along there, so it's because it's got to have skin on it as well, obviously. Tied up the ends here. They've smartened those off, so we get a nice smooth transition to the tip of the aileron. As I've said, got to do something with this. I think I do. The more I think about it, the more I'll just wrap it round, curl it round the last rib there. We've got the extra ribs on. Made the last rib for the top wing anyway. That's that one there. Hence the bell crank is in, because if I don't put it in place, I'd have to take the whole damn thing apart again. So that's the starboard wing, and on there is the port wing, which is the one I've just done today actually. And that one, as you can see, is in exactly the same position, including the if I can focus in, which I can't because I've got gloves on, including the gap there is set, and the end of the aileron is sorted, and also the protection to stop the wires chafing, I've put those in there as well. So that's pretty much on its way. The next job, I've got to try and get that starboard wing on the hooks next to this, is what I'm going to try and do, which is blooming awkward because I've got to get it across the fuselage, and I'm still missing my wheels. I took the wheels in to get them straightened to a motorbike shop, and I haven't heard a thing. So I'm going to have to call in and see about them maybe on Monday next week. It's Friday today. I don't know whether they'll be open Saturday. I maybe call in if I can. But yeah, I don't know what's happened to the wheels at the minute. I've heard nothing back at all. But I'm sure we'll sort it when it comes to it. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much it for the day. I'll put this wing up against the other one, and I shall then get the top wings on the next job, which are the two spars for the bottom wing. Sorry, the two spars are there. I've got to make the jig for the bottom wing ribs. I'm guessing the bending jig I've done, which is down there. That's the bending jig there, and as you can see, the upper wing jig. But I left some room at the end of that plate in the hope that I can get the much smaller lower wing jig on the end of that. If not, I'll just make another one. But we'll see. If it would be nice to get them both together and I can keep them should I ever need them, or should anybody else want to borrow them or something. So, but there we go. One little thing here, I've left that's an overlap there, because at this point there is a hoop that goes to these wing ribs here, and it goes round to the other side, and top and bottom, and that gives you the hoop above the pilot's head to give you room to get in and out the aircraft and to get to the gun. So yeah, there we go. That's it for today. Pretty good, quite pleased, all looking nice, and I shall keep you informed. I'll probably get this put together tonight with a bit of luck, and we'll post it as soon as we can. Cheers, folks.